Alrighty, we're taking you straight to Dunstable, where Total Action Wrestling has our first match for tonight. It is a tag team match, and it's over to the Killer and the Mastermind.
Thanks very much, Cryptid. So we're here at the Dunstable Leisure Centre for some tag team action.
We certainly are, and of course it is the Boneshakers against Mansaw, of course Jigsaw and Dan the Man Tucker.
It's going to be a very interesting matchup, if you ask me. Boneshakers, one of the up-and-coming fresh tag teams in the business.
They certainly are. Now, these boys don't just... their attitude in the ring is exactly the same as it is backstage. Of course, I've been sort of cornered before, on many occasions, by the Boneshakers, of course, Danny Mayhem and Oil Tanker. And you know what? They are intimidating.
Well, definitely. I mean, these guys are potentially one of the most ultimate tag teams. You have the brute force of Oil Tanker. You've got the agility and the sheer chaotic nature of Danny Mayhem. And put that together, and these guys, they don't really have a weakness.
They certainly don't. Of course, once you get used to the powerhouse that is Oil Tanker, in comes the agility and the speed of Danny Mayhem. And you know what? That can throw any team off in a heartbeat.
We're about to see the entrance of a newly formed tag team of Mansaw. I mean, Jigsaw, we all know we're massive fans of back in the Asylum days. Now we have Dan the Man Tucker coming in, and he's kind of seen eye to eye with Jigsaw, I think it's safe to say.
Certainly has. Ever since Dan the Man Tucker featured in Total Action Wrestling many moons ago, he's certainly come to his own, I think, at this point. Of course, teaming with Jigsaw at the moment is, you know, these two people forming Mansaw. You know what? They're going to be up there going for the titles one day, the tag team titles. I can see it as well as the Boneshakers. So this one is really going to be.
It's going to be a very interesting battle. I mean, you've got the pure might and power of Dan the Man's beard, for starters. I mean, when you've got that beard in your corner, I mean, things are already looking up.
That's why he's called Dan the Man.
Because you're not a man unless you've got a beard like that.
Certainly not. Of course, you know, Jigsaw, he's... I tell you what, in singles action, if you ever get to see a Jigsaw in singles action, he is absolutely phenomenal. He blew us away ever since, our first time we saw it.
Well, let's take things over to Stephen John Quinlan in the ring. Crowd really not liking the Boneshakers.
Certainly not. To be honest, I don't really like him. I'm not a great fan of him.
I think it's safe to say the crowd well and truly behind the team of Mansaw. So it's going to be an interesting matchup for sure tonight. Kai, who are you picking?
You know what? I just want to come back to what you said about the Boneshakers, and you got the agility and the brute force. That's kind of similar in Mansaw. So you know what? I think Mansaw is more experienced. So I've got to go with these two guys.
And there we hear the opening bell for the contest. Let's see what happens. So Boneshakers going with Oil Tanker to start the match.
And of course, Mansaw going with Jigsaw. So it's kind of the brute force versus the agility of both of the teams. So this could be a quite interesting start.
Definitely. I mean, it's an interesting tactic by the Boneshakers. I mean, Oil Tanker not really going to be flying out the blocks to begin with. So it looks like we might be getting a slow start to this match, but it's pretty sure that the Oil Tanker is going to stay on top in this one.
Certainly is, and that's a bad decision on Jigsaw's part. You should have gone full guns blazing at somebody of the size of Oil Tanker. Go for those knees, go for those legs, get him off his feet. And unfortunately, as we see at the moment, he's going for a bit of a test of strength.
That's it, and maybe a mistake by Jigsaw as we see Oil Tanker just overpower a former Asylum member.
I think Jigsaw's finally getting that as he looks towards this corner of Dan the Man Tucker.
Now recently, of course, we saw Danny Mayhem of the Boneshakers kind of demask Jigsaw in a shocking turn of events, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be playing in the back of Jigsaw's mind. I mean, do you think we're going to see a different Jigsaw now he hasn't got his mask on?
I certainly think so. You know what? Because he had the chance of the security of the mask, and now he's been had that security taken away. You know what? God knows what he's thinking right now, and I don't think he's going to be the same person.
It'll definitely be interesting to see. And here we see Dan the Man coming in to face off against Oil Tanker. And the crowd well and truly in his corner.
Of course, Oil Tanker, he's not looking best pleased with the crowd's reaction right here in Dunstable Leisure Centre. Because this could be quite interesting with the test of strength. Look at that. Look at those muscles.
Got the guns.
Of course,
Oil Tanker not wanting any part.
Why's he backed out?
Doesn't want any part of Dan the Man.
This is why I put down Dan the Man and Jigsaw to win this, because of basically Oil Tanker's attitude towards that then. Why didn't you go head-to-head with the Man?
Well, he's already had his time in the ring to start off the match. Maybe see what Danny can offer.
Look at that.
We see Dan the Man who openly embarrassing Danny Mayhem there.
Of course, Slick Danny is not looking best pleased by that.
So we've mentioned a number of times the attitude of the Boneshakers. These guys, they're just here basically to try and bully anybody they can, I think it's safe to say.
They certainly do this. Now, if you ever get a chance to see Boneshakers, you know what, these guys, you'll probably see them around trying to beat somebody up. They will intimidate. However, once they go up against two people in the ring, they're not quite that bolshy, are they?
I guess it's when they're being stood up to, but look at this by Dan the Man. And pulling on the nostrils of Danny Mayhem. He won't be liking that.
Certainly won't. Of course, Dan the Man really taking it to
referee Christian almost missing the pin count there. The referee's got to be quicker on his toes in this match, if you ask me, especially with these two guys in the ring.
And at the moment, the strength versus the agility. At the moment, the strength's on top as Dan the Man's got hold of.
Yeah, it almost looks like a choke right now.
Certainly is. Well, the ref's not counting. He kind of assumed it's not a choke. It's just a nice hole. Oh, what a rake. What a cheating.
So now maybe see a bit of an more even matchup now for Danny as Jigsaw comes back in. Wait a second. I think we know what we're going to see right now. Anyone for a cuppa? Oh! Oh my goodness.
Look at Oil Tanker's face. He's
disgusted by the acts of Jigsaw there. Can't blame him, really. But this is pretty much why the crowd love him, and they are well and truly behind him. And look at that shortcut taken by Oil Tanker. Swift knee to the back of Jigsaw, and a jawbreaker as well. And just like that, that one knee to the back of Jigsaw.
Oh, come on!
It took.
Danny Mayhem distracting the referee. And of course, Oil Tanker taking advantage with his log-like arms.
And this is why I think Boneshakers are going to be one of the teams to watch, because they don't care for the rules.
They know how to cheat. That's basically
they're here
what
to win by any means necessary.
Oh, that's a gigantic headbutt from Oil Tanker. Of course, Dan the Man is not best pleased with that one, and by God, that is some weight going down on Jigsaw's throat. Come on, ref. Shouldn't have a 5 count. You should just get him off straight away. That's health and safety.
And they've got a 5 count at the end of the day, Kai. I mean, dirty as it is, you've got to respect the referee's count. The referee's giving them 5, then that's what we've got to respect.
Should be a disqualification. Straight up disqualification with that size foot going into Jigsaw's
well, I guess
neck.
that's up to the team of Mansaw deciding on which fights they want to take on, I guess. And look at Oil Tanker now well and truly taking over in this match.
You know what? I really want to get Dan the Man in there and take Oil Tanker down a peg or two. So I think that's kind of what Oil Tanker needs right now. And what a boot from Danny Mayhem, just holding up there on the top rope.
The Boneshakers just well and truly taking the crowd out of this match now. They have the crowd well and truly behind the team of Mansaw. And after a bit of swift offense, crowd have been taken out of this match. I mean, that's ideally the third man in the corner of Mansaw, is it, when the crowd are behind him?
They certainly are, and like you said, the crowd are kind of distraught of what's happening right now. And this is, I guess, what you're on about, the destruction and the determination of the Boneshakers.
Danny dropping the knee right onto the shoulder area of Jigsaw.
Because Jigsaw's taking a bit of a battering from the Boneshakers. They're not called the Boneshakers for no apparent reason. This is exactly why. They
are definitely shaking the bones of Jigsaw right now.
Oil Tanker now back in.
The Boneshakers really cutting the ring in half now. We see a nice drop toe hold. Oh my word, a massive elbow from Oil Tanker.
I think we just heard a cry from Jigsaw there.
He's got the rope. Oh, that was that's ring smarts there from the crafty veteran. That is.
And thank God the ref Christian spotted that one.
Jigsaw showing that he knows exactly what he's doing inside that ring. I'm pretty sure that would have been a 3 count if it wasn't for that rope.
I think you would be right. Of course, Oil Tanker not best pleased with the referee at that point. Just look at his face. He just looks angry and taking it out on the crowd. He's trying to get Jigsaw back into this and get Dan the Man in the ring. That's what we need right now. We want Dan. Well, I know you're going for the Boneshakers. I'm a Mansaw kind of guy. I really want Dan the Man to get in there.
I'm staying neutral. I'm calling this straight down the middle as I see it. That's what we're here for at the end of the day, Kai. We're here to call it as we see it. Although, as I say, it's hard to argue with the Boneshakers right now. They are really taking
come on,
charge.
ref! I know you're calling it down the middle, but I'm not. Ref, turn around!
You see now, like, it's those emotions that you've got to keep in check, Kai. I mean, you look down the man right now. He's getting pretty fired up, and that's ultimately what's doing the damage. The crowd, so you can really hear the crowd just aren't behind them anymore. I mean, the crowd are just deflated with this display of power by the Boneshakers.
Certainly are, and of course,
Danny going for a nonchalant cover. Not happy with that 2 count.
That's a disrespectful pin, I thought, from Danny Mayhem.
Now choking the life out of Jigsaw on that bottom rope.
He's not
Boneshaker's just relentless right now.
No, Jigsaw's not looking too well at the moment. He's taking a right battering, and of course, I believe that's going to continue. Nice quick tagging from the Boneshakers.
They're completely cutting the ring in half right now. They're not giving Jigsaw a chance to make it out of that ring in one piece. And a nice double elbow there in stereo. So the Boneshakers just absolutely taking over right now.
They are. They're keeping themselves fresh as well. Let's say Oil Tank would take a couple of moves, and then quickly Danny Mayhem's back in.
I mean, ultimately, that's the key to tag team wrestling, Kai. I mean, when you look at the Boneshakers, these are 2 guys. You know, they talk to each other every single day. They're out riding every single night. In the case of Jigsaw and Dan the Man Tucker, you've got two people kind of well accomplished as singles performers. But not necessarily a tag team from the get-go, whereas Boneshakers, they've come in from day one, and they are a team. And now we hear the horn.
Slam.
Oh! Jigsaw somehow moving out of the way. The speed of Oil Tanker there.
It's going up the turnbuckle.
To his detriment. What are we going to see now? A nice drop kick there from Jigsaw, and he's taken the big guy down, Kai. This is the first time in this match that we've seen Oil Tanker off his feet. The crowd now starting to really get fired up over Jigsaw.
Certainly is. Come on, get Jigsaw, get Danny the Man. I'm getting too excited. I don't want Danny Mayhem in. I want Dan the Man Tucker in.
It's
too exciting.
You need to calm down,
both of them are in.
We've got a job to do right now. You're getting far too carried away. And although we see the power of Dan the Man Tucker, we're going to see a nice Uranagi. No, maybe not.
He's trying to get it.
Oh no, he's cut off there. So this is why you've got to have eyes in the back of your head in tag team wrestling, and that's one thing that Dan the Man Tucker has yet to learn. Obviously, we know Jigsaw, a former tag team champion. Dan the Man may be showing that he's not so used to the tag team division. However, what we're going to see now from the team of Mansaw. Oh wow, we're going to try and take the big man down, and they've managed it, but it took both of them to get him off his feet. Barely getting him off his feet, and that's clearly taken it out of both men.
Of course, Dan the Man is certainly hurting. He's hurt his shoulders on that part.
Ring. Was that a spine buster from Jigsaw?
A flying spine buster.
Oh, look at this. Kyra Fox on the outside putting the boots to Oil Tank, and the crowd getting involved as well now. This is just completely broken down. And we see Danny Mayhem's in the puzzle piece right now. Puzzle piece submission.
And on the outside, Oil Tank just smashed Dan the Man's head into that turnbuckle.
I did spot that at the bottom of the screen there. Where's Oil Tanker going now? Once again, I think Jigsaw now not seeing the big guy coming in, saving the day for Danny Mayhem. I'm pretty sure he was about to tap out to the puzzle piece just then.
He was in some agony right there. And did you notice as soon as Oil Tanker got Jigsaw off, Danny instantly just went for the ropes. It was like it was meant to be.
Safety net. I know we see a corner splash. Oh, wait a second. I think I know what's going to come right now. I think they're setting up for the shake and break. There we go. That is it. That has got to be all over. There's no way Jigsaw's kicking out of
Tucker,
this.
where are you?
There you go. 3 count for the Boneshakers. I mean, that was pretty one-sided, Kai.
I've got to admit, it was pretty one-sided, and this is kind of why these two are becoming one of the most formidable tag teams out there. They're proving a point. They're making a name for themselves backstage, and of course now in the ring as well.
So that's what I was saying earlier, Kai. These guys, they live and die together. They're out there. They've got each other's backs. We see this instant replay now. This is the moment that Oil Tanker was almost taken off his feet.
It took the whole of Mansaw to do that, and of course, what an impact to the canvas.
But of course, when you got a move like the shake and break, elbow drop off the top rope onto the sidewalk slam, that is it. That's all she wrote for Mansaw.
Fortunately, it was all that, and of course, looking at Dan the Man there, he just looked like it was meant to be.
Well, after that showing, I think the future is pretty bright for the Boneshakers. Oil Tanker, though, look at that, he's got the win. He still looks pretty angry.
That's probably why Oil Tanker looks a bit angry. He hasn't got the titles.
Well, that's ultimately what they want, and that's what they're going to be gunning for by the sounds of it from what Danny Mayhem says. Look at that. Oh, Oil Tanker just doesn't care, just abusing our cameraman as well.
We see
maybe have to get someone down to the floor to make sure our cameraman's okay. Look at, they've got the win, but they still look pretty pissed off.
They certainly do, and of course here is Mansaw looking down, beaten, trying to retreat.
Well, what a match that was from the Dunstable Leisure Centre for TAW. That was Boneshakers versus Mansaw. What a match we've just witnessed.